Most of you know that some of my hobbies are a little strange. Part of the time I do things that other people would consider a job just for relaxation. Sometimes I do too much of it, and it's no longer relaxation, but it becomes a chore. But still, it's not my day job, and so I sometimes do things. But I like to play with power tools. I also do things like sheetrock and stuff like that. And right now just finished renovating the house to sell it, and we're renovating the new condo to live in it. So I'm got paint on me and sheetrock on me most days. But anyway, the thing about when you're working on houses is you never know what you're going to find. I remember a few years ago, we were doing some work on my mother's house, and she built her house in the 70s, so there's been some age to it. But we were working her front steps, her inside front steps, and we found a wall that had about 6 2x4s together to structurally support her A-frame house. We took a little bit of sheetrock off, and we found that most of that wood was no longer there. Some little animal called termites had been into it. They were long gone, but that wood was not very much of it left. Problem is where it was structurally, it was easier to put 2 metal poles beside it in the wall and restructure it than it was to take that rotten wood out. So we took and we put the metal in there, but then we put brand new sheetrock right over that rotten wood. We put brand new paint right over that rotten wood. Then none of that fixed the rotten wood. Now, the 2 pipes we put supported structurally, so we're not worried about safety here. This is the first time I actually was afraid to fix something. I thought the whole roof might come down, so we fixed it a different way. But that rotten wood is still in that wall. You look at that wall right now, and it's nice and smooth. It's got a nice paint job on it. You'd never figure that what was behind it was rotten wood. It's just like when you're doing your house. How many people have painted their house, and they've decided to get some of this Kilz, cover up their stains on their walls? Normally those stains on the walls are caused because of a water leak in the roof. You don't know what's behind the sheetrock, but you cover up with the Kilz, then you put regular paint over it, and you got this nice, clean surface. But you still don't know what's behind the wall. In Matthew, Jesus was talking in chapter 23, and he's talking to the Pharisees. He says, in verse 25 and a few verses after that, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you cleanse the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside they are full of extortion and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisees, first cleanse the inside of the cup and dish, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, which are indeed appear beautiful outwardly, but inside are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanliness. Even so you also outwardly appear righteous to man, but inside you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness." Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so the problem is, he was telling the Pharisees, they've been whitewashed. We don't use whitewash nowadays. It's pretty much out. We use real paint. We use Kilz to cover the stains. So if you took this and you painted over a sarcophagus, you can make it look nice and pretty. But you've still got dead people's bones inside, right? There was a recent episode of NCIS where the guy found that somebody had put a dead body in his floor, under his nice wood floor for years, okay? Well, he didn't know that his bed was sitting over that dead body for years, but it was. The problem is that still, that bad stuff was still there. Now, here's the problem. When we look in a mirror, what do we see? What do our friends see of us? Do they see this nice, great, gorgeous face? Or do they see what's really inside us? Well, fortunately, only God can see what's inside us, but we have to look in ourselves. Are we being hypocritical? Are we whitewashing ourselves to the world? Are we putting on a Christian front to the people here, but then we get back in our work and stuff, and our language becomes foul? Or we start telling dirty jokes? But yet when we're here with Christians, we don't do such things? Are we being hypocritical with that? The whole thing is, we are the only ones can examine ourselves and fix ourselves if we're being hypocritical. And sometimes we are and we don't know it. And sometimes our spouse tells us we are and we finally know it. But the thing is, we have to remember, are we the whitewashed Pharisees that are whitewashed with with corruption inside? And so at this point, I'm trying to say is that, remember, we're not supposed to be that way. We should be able to look at this Bible, look at the principles in it, look at ourselves in the mirror, and see us living a Christian life, see us living a Christian example, and have it truly be what is inside our soul. So make sure that if you do have problems, that you just don't cover them up, but you try to correct them, again, through study, through prayer, whatever be needed. For instance, if you've got a problem now and you need help from the saints, we always ask you to come ask the saints to pray for you and help you. We are not perfect people, but we should strive to be. And if we've got corruption inside us, we need to strive to get rid of that corruption, whatever it be, so we can be more like our Savior, Christ. If we can be at any help at this time, come forward. We will help you.